Hi there, welcome to the channel. Thanks a lot for joining us. Really appreciate your time here. So let's have a look at a story that's emerging from the British media that says that Ed Woodward is in talks to take on a consultancy role at Manchester United when his 8-year tenure at the club comes to an end next month. This is ludicrous, right? This is ludicrous. If Man United fans or the owners of Manchester United believe that Ed Woodward isn't an issue inside the infrastructure of Manchester United, then they're sadly mistaken. He's the common denominator that runs through all these failures since Sir Alex has gone. In fact, since he's come, we haven't really had a successful, sustained period, despite spending a relatively large amount of money. And the reason why is that he has very little footballing knowledge. There's a famous story of when United bought an injured and aging Bastian Schweinsteiger from Bayern Munich. He turned and said to somebody, well, the opposition are going to be scared now. He has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea about football, about how to run a football club, how to negotiate transfers, how to appoint managers, how to have a strategy that means that United don't lurch from crisis to crisis to crisis. And do you know what one of the biggest issues is? So let's start with David Moyes. So Sir Alex leaves, David Gill leaves as CEO, and David Moyes comes. Okay, David Moyes was essentially a defensive manager, pretty hard to beat, been pretty successful in the Premier League. United give him 8 months. Don't really sign any of the players he wants. He wants to sign Fabregas. They end up with Fellaini. He gets sacked. He finishes 6th or 7th. Then what do? They hire Louis van Gaal, who isn't a defensive manager, who's a possession-based manager, who wants his players to keep moving the ball and to work the opposition with possession and then to try and kill them with chances and domination. And he's essentially using possession as a defensive tool. And that's why you always have, under the Van Gaal system, a ball-playing centre-back that essentially can come into midfield and play. They give him 2 years. Second season, wins the FA Cup, but he finishes 5th outside of the Champions League places, and he gets sacked. Okay, then you go from Van Gaal to Jose Mourinho, a completely different style again. Mourinho likes a low block, likes to essentially play on the break, likes players that are over 6 feet tall, likes very physical teams, he actually is the complete opposite of Van Gaal. He doesn't mind the opposition having possession of the ball. So you got Van Gaal, possession-based, trained the team for 2 years. Then Mourinho, he actually allows the opposition to have the ball. And he doesn't mind having a low possession stats and just hit teams on the break. And then, obviously, won the Europa League, finished 2nd, and then fell out with the board. And then they lurch and hire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Again, a completely different style to Mourinho. So Solskjaer has to come. He has to sell Fellaini. He has to sell Smalling. He has to get rid of Ashley Young and Antonio Valencia. You know, so you essentially Alexis Sanchez. You know, so you essentially have moved into a manager now with Solskjaer who's got a counter-attacking style, who wants the team to be on the front foot, who isn't defensive like Mourinho. The reason why I mention all these things is all of these decisions have been taken by Ed Woodward. Every single one of them. They're all Ed Woodward's decisions. And for him to have a consultancy role at the club is ludicrous. And also the notion that Manchester United needs someone to advise them on commercial deals, it's not that difficult. Right? It's not that difficult. United's turnover has risen in comparison to Man City and Liverpool, much less. Right? So the notion that the Glazers and Woodward are business geniuses isn't really true. The only thing they've done on a business level, which you can probably say has driven other clubs to do this is to drive non-commercial revenue, non-footballing revenue. By non-footballing revenue, I mean that you can break the revenue down into broadly 3 categories: match day revenue, television broadcasting and prize money revenue, and then commercial sponsorship, intellectual property right revenue. This third one, the intellectual property right and the commercial deals, is the only thing that United have driven, but it's not exactly revolutionary. American sports clubs have been doing that for a long time. The Yankees obviously did it hugely successfully. Paris Saint-Germain are now doing it with the Michael Jordan thing. So yeah, that's all they've done. That's not a revolutionary thing to do. But Ed Woodward is a symptom of the failure at Manchester United in the past 8 or 9 years, and he needs to go immediately. He really needs to go. And if they keep him, it just shows that because he helped them with the leverage buyout of Manchester United, they have some type of loyalty to him. But he's clueless. He's clueless, even on a commercial level. What does he know? Anyway, what do you think? I think it just shows how dysfunctional Manchester United is as an organisation, that they would even consider this guy shouldn't even be in a job. This guy shouldn't even be in a job. But it's all about power for the Glazers. They specifically had a moment where they asserted power against Sir Alex. Sir Alex was getting them success, so they tolerated him. But once Sir Alex was gone, they've specifically broken the power of everyone other than Woodward and the Glazier family, and everyone else doesn't have power to actually do what's best for Manchester United. And that's what the Glazers are all about: power and control. And it's not working, but for them it's working because the dividends keep rolling, the debt's still there, and if they can finish 4th, because what people need to realise, the prize money from finishing 1st to 4th is about £1.5 million. So as long as you finish 4th and get in the Champions League, it's a £1.5 million difference. So it doesn't really matter. And this is United's level. This is United's level. So anyway, what do you think? Do you think Woodward should stay? Do you think I'm being harsh? I think he's a disease in the club, but that's just my view. Give me your views. Thanks for watching.